Listen up or run for cover. Dropping knowledge from the people who have it to the people who need it. The real Bradley is dropping bombs.
What it is, Bradley, back again with another episode of Dropping Bizzles. Today in the studio, I've got a badass out of Toronto, Canada. Is it Toronto?
Toronto, eh?
Toronto, eh? Daniel, well, he always just says say Guy, but it's Guaragna.
Say G, G-I-I,
G.
don't lie.
Oh, it's G. But it's Guaragna.
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 Yep.
Daniel Guaragna. He has high-ticket sales mastery programs all over Canada. He shows people how to basically sell high-ticket items and make themselves a fortune. Am I lying?
Correct.
Have you ever heard Dropping Bombs?
Yeah, I heard a couple episodes.
Yeah, so you know the goal. The goal is let's just have a chit-chat conversation and see if we can't help fools get past their own problems and challenges, or help the main fool get past mine. There's always challenges and situations, ever evolving. People are so afraid of freaking, struggle that they don't do anything. And here's my 2 cents on that. If you don't do anything to have any struggle, you're not going anywhere.
I agree.
So why are so many people afraid of rejection and struggle?
Yep, 100%.
So tell me a little bit about yourself. You don't live in Canada anymore, do you?
Still live in Toronto.
Do you?
Yep.
You've heard of Nicole Arbor then.
Nicole Arbor, no.
Dude, she's a freaking Canadian. Don't you guys all know each other?
Is she a comedian?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard of her. Yeah.
And she's like the girl on YouTube that makes those funny ass videos.
Yeah, I know who she is.
She has like a billion freaking views.
Yeah.
I figured that you'd all know them since you're all from Canada.
Canada's big, Brad. Canada's a big country.
It's big and empty, isn't it?
I agree. Yeah.
I always told everybody, like, if I were the president of the United States, I might just take Canada. Like, just tell them we're just merging.
I love it. Yeah. So I was, I grew up in a small city. Well, it's growing now, Mississauga, right outside of Toronto, Canada. I always say, like, my light bulb moment happened at a very young age. At the age of 13 years old, my parents split up. And, I always explain the story. I put an 87 cents candy down on the conveyor belt. My dad looked at me that day and he said, "You're not getting that today, sport." And I looked at him.
You're not doing what?
He's like, "You're not getting that candy today, sport."
Why?
Well, they just split up, and I guess it was just a sign of saying, like, "Hey, listen, no more getting the shit that you want." So that day was like, that was a light bulb moment. 'Cause I remember that day when I went to go put that candy on the conveyor belt. My dad said, "You're not getting that today." I'm like, "Well, shit, that's not the problem." I said, "On Friday, I got to go take a chick to the movies. That's going to be $20. If my dad's not going to get me an 87 cents candy, how the fuck am I going to afford the $20 movies? He's not going to front me the $20. So I went home that day and I told my tech brother, I'm like, "Steven, you know those discs that you've been burning for like $1 a pop on Casa Light? It was this illegal burning thing." I said, "Why don't we just start flipping those for like $5 a pop at school?" And I was a kid flipping everything, like anything I can get my hands on. So I was watching my parents work 2 jobs, mom and dad working 2 jobs. And at that time, first of all, that's what I think instilled work ethic into me. Watching them work 2 jobs. When you get older, like if you look at work ethic, work is a physical output towards a worthy goal, and ethics is sort of what you stand for and your morals. So when I grow up and I see my parents working 90-hour work weeks, I feel ashamed if I'm doing anything under 90. Like, that's my ethics and my morals, right? Yep. Anything under 90 hours, I'm like, well, shit, that just feels a bit weird and a bit ashamed for me. So I grew up, parents working 2 jobs. 15 to 17, I was a kid cutting grass. I sold aeration services. I was poking holes in people's grass, 2 to 3 inch holes. People, we don't have grass here in Las Vegas, but we'd call it aeration. You poke the grass.
Sure, I know what it is, bro.
So
I'm from the Northwest.
There you go. So and then at the age of 19, I got involved. This was like the dark period of my life. I got involved into university. And the reason why I'm saying it was my dark period, because I was stashing thousands of dollars underneath my bread. And then on the 3rd semester, a prof tells me, he said, "If you want to make 6 figures coming out of this program, you're probably in the wrong place in the wrong program." I'm looking at this guy saying, this guy's nuts. I was well on my way probably by the age of 22, 23 to make six figures. I looked at my girlfriend at the time. I said, babe, I'm dropping out. So
Why did you hide money under your bread?
under my bed?
Oh, bed.
Yeah.
I thought you said bread.
No, under my bed. So I looked at my girlfriend at the time and I said, babe, I'm dropping out. So I'm gone today. If you want to make love, let's do it in the lecture hall because I'm bouncing home.
Damn.
So we had a couple kids in the lecture hall. That didn't happen. But I went home. I went back to my tech brother and I said, Steve, man, I just dropped out of university. Don't tell mom and dad. What am I going to do next? So I went back to what I was curious in, and that was sales. And by the way, like, if anybody's stuck right now that's listening to the podcast, if you're stuck, go back to your curiosities. Curiosities always propel you towards the future. It's like the cat in the bag, right?
Yeah, whatever you're interested in, curious about.
You're going to start hunting for the answers, right?
Generally, yeah.
So I went back to my curiosities. I told my brother to build out 100 sales resumes, sent them off to downtown Toronto. I was applying to every sales job in downtown Toronto. Was underqualified, 19 years old. I was applying to like B2B sales jobs. Probably 999 said no. One job, I was down to my last wire, and I just told the guy, I said, hey, listen, I need a job, so I don't need you to pay me a salary, but I need to show my parents I got a freaking job. And then he accepted me. I got a job selling advertisements down in New York Times Square, selling billboard advertisements in New York Times Square, calling on CEOs, executives, vice presidents, CMOs of marketing. And then I leveraged that job to get into a medical device sales job by the age of 20. So I was working that job for about 3.5 years.
Pretty strong.
Yep.
You can make a lot of money selling pharmaceutical devices.
Medical devices, yeah.
Yeah, like equipment to
Yep.
doctors.
Yep.
Interesting. So then what? How'd that lead to where you are now?
Yeah, so I was in San Diego, and we were picking up, this was about 2 years ago, we were picking up our awards, like you go do your sales awards down in San Diego. I was in San Diego, and we were picking up our awards. And you get like, you pick up your award. It's like kind of like the Grammys. You go pick up your award. You have 2 minutes on the stage. And I'm looking at this guy they hired, some sales training guy, some motivational speaker, sales training guy. This guy's like lighting up the freaking stage. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, here's the deal. I'm going to be making $250,000 a year, probably $500,000 a year in sales. And I get the stage for 2 minutes out of the year. Thank you guys for a great year. And this guy's on stage, and he has the stage for like an hour. This guy's lighting up the stage, impacting like thousands of people within our company across North America. So I'm like, oh, okay, what's the deal here? I go up to the guy after. I'm like, man, what is it that you like? How did you get into this? What do you do? And he's like, well, he's like, I have a bunch of programs, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, so what do you charge for like one of these keynotes? And he's like, $15,000. I'm like, okay, cool. How many keynotes do you do? He's like, I do 2 a week. I'm like, so you're pulling in $30,000 a week off keynotes. Plus another probably $10,000 off his program. So I'm like, you're making $200,000-$300,000 a year off sales training and motivation, and
A month.
Off his sales training stuff. So I'm like, okay, if this guy can do it, I can do it. I built out a
Who
sales.
was it?
I can't remember who the gentleman was at the time. I can't remember who he was. I just started going nuts. I opened up a studio inside of my house. I started recording some sales videos, training videos. That built up momentum on the side. The moment that picked up momentum, I dropped my medical gig and just went full time.
Nice.
Yeah.
You weren't even afraid. And more importantly, you did it both at one time.
Yeah, I mean, I had the time.
Yeah, because people always ask me, dude, when do you know it's time to start something else? And I always say, sometimes you don't, like, you can keep doing what you're doing while you get something else going. Is that what you did?
100%, yeah. Your 6 to 10 grind.
6 to 10? Because you were working 90 hours a week.
Yep. No, more than that probably. Especially when that kicked in. That was probably like 120.
So what made you not afraid to do it?
What made me not afraid to do it?
Yeah, like there's so many people out there that are challenged and paralyzed because they're afraid.
Well, here's the deal.
What if I fail? What if I screw up? What if I get fired for doing a side gig?
Yeah, it doesn't matter, because the moment you learn something like sales, doesn't matter if you stripped away my business. So if I got into my sales university and I failed for, let's say, the first year and I wasn't doing well, I'd end up back at a sales job anyhow.
Yeah. See,
folks,
listen up.
Like I always say, you could strip me naked, take all my clothes, throw me out on the street, but I would be back in the exact same position just because of my skills and my talents in sales. I'll be back in the same position.
Yeah, and you knew that.
100%.
Yeah, see, that's probably because people always ask, like, why would I start Lightspeed? How would I have the nerve, and I'm thinking, dude, worst case scenario, I'll go get my job back. Like,
Yeah.
I wasn't worried about it. Too many people are worried about that shit. So then you develop the sales mastery.
Yeah, so we dropped a few programs, and then so where we are today, so we have a sales agency, meaning we've trained a lot of reps, and now we are outsourcing our reps to entrepreneurs and thought leaders that want to scale and grow their business.
Nice.
Yeah.
So if anybody listening needs a couple sales reps to scale and grow their business and have a high ticket item, better pay attention, because old Daniel could hook you up with some pre-trained and ready to roll. Are they badasses?
They're all badasses.
So, and you train them all kinds of ways, but what are you training them?
High ticket sales.
Yeah,
so when
like let's you teaching them how to close, you teaching them how to listen. What are you teaching them?
Yeah. So first of all, when we're saying high ticket sales, that's saying something $1,500 right out of the gate. We're not selling like courses that are $10, selling like how to create a hot dog for $10 online, right? This is a course that can transform somebody's life, whether it's in their business, their life, their relationships. So what we're teaching our high ticket sales reps to do is learn how to have a conversation on the phone, qualify our clients, ask the challenging questions, learn how to coach the clients over the phone, and close a high ticket deal.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much of like the prospecting part involved, like the hunting part.
You don't teach that?
Well, we do. I have that in my programs, but it's not the high ticket sales rep's job to go out there and hunt for leads.
Right. You provide them.
The thought leader would probably provide them.
Yeah. Do they only sell thought leader shit?
What do you mean?
Like masterminds, courses. They don't sell software or any other product?
No, if the thought leader has that behind them, that would be part of their offering. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's only thought leaders. You don't work for software companies selling phone systems.
No.
It's just thought leaders.
Yeah.
So you hook up your reps to go sell thought leaders materials and masterminds and events. Mm-hmm. See, dude, I got tons of them for you. Mm-hmm. Tons of them. And your problem is you don't have enough thought leaders.
I got one sitting in front of me.
That's funny because I got too many thought leaders and not enough salespeople. And you got too many salespeople and not enough thought leaders.
Ooh.
Huh?
I like it.
That's what I'm talking about. And I'm gonna freaking be of value to my clients who are thought leaders because they need salespeople. I'm just hoping yours are badass as claimed. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm trying to figure out, what are you teaching them? Like what?
Yeah. So you look at sales, sales has never changed. You look at sales, the whole point, the process never changes sales. You have from prospecting, qualifying customers to closing them out. That will never change. Anybody that tries to change the process, if they say they're trying to change the process, I wouldn't trust them. Sort of like somebody that says they manufacture antiques. Wouldn't trust the person. But what changes is what's happening inside of that process. So like I look a deal top down. Like what's the number one thing it takes to close a deal, Brad?
Number one thing
What's the number one thing it takes to close a deal? When there's a transaction happening, what is it? What's happening throughout that transaction?
An exchange of value.
And yeah.
You're providing a solution. You're solving a problem.
Right. And there's something happening within that deal as when the client buys, meaning the client buys, you can't see it, but there's something happening. There's something being passed over. Value and
trust. Well, to me, dude, listen, I'll tell you, because I'm the best fucking closer on the planet.
Okay.
And that's a fact. And I can even prove it.
Okay.
But in my opinion, I mean, this could be a loaded question or it could be a real question, but at the time someone says yes was the time that you demonstrated enough value for your product or service beyond what they have for their money. So
yeah, and they got what? They got excited.
Yeah, well,
they got enthusiastic about doing it.
Yeah, but at that point in time, I convinced you that my product or service was worth more to you than your money is.
100%. So the moment I get more excited and enthusiastic than you selling me the product is the moment the customer buys, correct?
I think enthusiasm is definitely contagious, but I don't know if that's the time they buy because
Correct.
They're excited. Because I get a lot of people excited and they still don't buy.
Right. So anytime, let's just think anytime you bought, and I agree with you, exchange value. Anytime you bought, let's say, a car, you just bought a Ferrari.
Yeah.
You are 10 times more excited than the sales rep selling you the car to drive it home, bring it home to the spouse, whatever it may be, right? So what I'm trying to say is, let's say there's a transfer of enthusiasm. It doesn't have to be like the rah jump around type of enthusiasm. It's more of like the constrained enthusiasm. Like I'm always more excited than like, and the reason why I'm saying this because the rep has the ability to generate some sort.
Yeah, but that might be the value I was talking about. So you're talking about enthusiasm and excitement, that the customer's enthusiasm and excitement to own the product exceeds, the salesman's or whatever.
100%.
Yeah, but that's because like I value that.
Because the salesman had the ability to develop some sort of, let's just say, conviction
And
or a set firm of beliefs in his product or his service.
Yeah.
And what does conviction develop? It develops energy, right?
And excitement.
And excitement.
Enthusiasm.
Think of the. I always use this example.
I
Think
get
of
a lot of people excited. They still don't buy.
think of Conor McGregor.
Yep.
This guy a year ago went to go fight, what's his name? Floyd Money Mayweather.
Yep.
About a year and a half ago. If you look at that fight, logically, that fight doesn't make sense. You have an MMA fighter going to fight a guy that's 49-0 at the time. Logically, it doesn't. Like, the guy can kick his ass hands down.
Who can?
Floyd Money Mayweather in a boxing match, right?
Yeah.
But here's the deal, though. The guy went to go sell a $250 million contract. How? He had absolute conviction in his process, like in himself, that hands down, like he thought his shit don't smell. He walked the talk. Like, if you look at his suit,
I'd go fight Floyd for $250 million.
Yeah, but he sold it to everybody, and people started believing it after, and they went to go buy the $60 pay-per-view ticket.
Dude, he wasn't far off from winning that fight either.
Yeah, but it's a fight. It could be planned out, whatever the case is. But here's the deal. His press conferences were the most hype press conferences, right?
Yeah, Conor's a freaking marketing genius.
Yeah, it's the conviction in him.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
Yeah, he's definitely one for causing excitement. So let me ask you a question. How do you close a deal?
So first of all, closing a deal starts off from the beginning. Any deal starts off from the beginning. If you look at a deal, it's separated into three different parts. If you look at any sort of deal, separated into 60, 30, 10. So these are three percentages. I break it down. It's 60% of you getting a deal done. Even 60% of you just getting your advice across to somebody. If somebody listening to you, I think as if they like you or want to be like you. Yeah. So like I'm never gonna do like I would never do business with you if I'm not just vibing out with you, or if I don't want to be like you, or if I'm not like you, I'm probably not gonna do business with you.
Yeah.
Like, all things being equal in business, people do business with their friends.
Sure.
All things being unequal in business, people still do fucking business with their friends.
Yeah, I always tell people the number one reason somebody buys is the salesman. And the number one reason they don't is the salesman.
100% agree.
They either got to like you or they don't.
Yeah.
That's one of the things you can't teach hardly ever. So when someone does teach that, it gives someone the advantage, because you got to understand, you got to be likable, dick.
Yeah.
If someone's a dick, and a lot of salesmen don't get this, they'll sit there and run their pie hole, when in reality, a salesman's job is, if they're smart, is to ask the right questions and listen for the answers. And then that allows them to build that excitement and enthusiasm to a point that the sale happens.
Man, it's never been so easier, like, especially for B2B sales, for closing big deals, and you get a decision maker on the phone, and this guy's probably written a couple books, or he has some big accolades under his belt, and you didn't take the time for 5 minutes to research the guy, and the moment you get on a phone call, like, the number one way to get somebody to like you is probably compliment them. Like, if I walked in this building right now and I seen a lady with a Prada purse and I said, beautiful purse, she doesn't know who this person is, but she just likes me right off the bat. It's the same thing on a call. Like, I can use these skill sets online and like all my information online
to
get the person to like me right off the bat. Right? And it also showed some interest. So the reason why I'm saying 60, 30, 10, 60% of you getting a deal done, of you closing a deal, is if they like you or want to be like you. I remember when I was, here's a good story. When I was in university at the time, which wasn't too long ago, I got invited to, what were those things called? Sorority houses with all the girls.
Sure.
Yeah, and me and my buddy was an actor at the time, so we got invited to all these cool parties. So we got invited to a party, and it's like 11 girls. They're like, do you want to come watch a TV show with us? Or a movie at the time. So we're like, yeah, for sure. I gelled my hair, 11 girls, 2 guys. I'm like, boom, let's go. So we go sit down. They flick on a movie called Only God Forgives by Ryan Gosling. This guy's a good-looking guy. They all love him. Okay, Only God Forgives. Literally 10 girls, 2 guys, watching the movie. The guy Ryan Gosling doesn't say a word for the first 5 to 10 minutes of the movie. Like, doesn't say a word. I'm over there like trying to make a move, putting my arm around the girl. She pushes my arm. I'm like, the guy hasn't said a word yet for the first 5 to 10 minutes of the movie. Like, she's like, yeah, but Dan, it's wrong. Their jaws were dropped to the TV, just waiting for whatever he said. Why? because they already like the guy. So no matter,
because they want to suck his dick.
but no matter what the guy said, they were gonna listen. Why? They already liked him.
Yeah.
Or they probably wanted when they went home to their boyfriend to be like the babe. Can you put on that, that green ripped shirt? They probably wanted their boyfriend to be like them. Yeah. So I'm saying it happens, like it has nothing to do with your product within the first 60% to get their attention, right?
Yeah.
So 60%, 30% is the way you communicate with somebody. Whether it's over the telephone, face to face, on the podcast, 30% is the way you communicate with somebody.
Yeah.
Now
we're up to 90.
We're up to 90.
What's the other 10?
If a friend comes up to me and she's like, Daniel, and she's crying, like this is even for you giving advice to somebody. Like this could be so, like if a girlfriend comes up to me and her boyfriend just broke up with her and she's like, Daniel, my boyfriend just broke up with me, and she's crying and she's bawling her eyes out. And if I were to go up to her in that moment, communication, if I'm going up to her and I jump around like rah, jump around Daniel type of enthusiasm, she's going to be like, holy shit, get the way out. She's like, she doesn't want to be communicated like that in the moment. So I have to drop my shoulder and say, my girlfriend just broke up with me too, and it's difficult. Now what?
So is that a mirroring technique?
Whatever it is. Now she's saying, okay, I like this person.
Yeah. We're back to that 60 though.
So
what's the 10?
10% your product.
So you're saying, it's not your product that matters.
10% is a product.
Yeah.
I just said all things being equal in business, people want to do business with their friends. All things being unequal, I still want to do business with my friends.
Sure.
10% is a product.
Yeah. If all things are equal. Because again, regardless of your product, I could like you to death. If I don't like your product, I ain't buying shit. And a lot of people are like that. But I get your point, and I would agree.
By the way, within that 90%, if you're saying, sales is based on emotion and logic, within that 90%, what you're trying to do is get them emotionally involved, right?
Yeah.
So
I always called it lick the paint. You get the customer to lick the paint.
I like it. So, and I always say, people make crazy buying decisions when they get emotionally involved. They always make crazy. Think of the last time you kissed your boyfriend or your girlfriend. If I were to tell you right now, the lips are the most dirtiest part on the human body, I guarantee you, for anybody listening that I just said that, you're still going to go home and kiss your wife no matter what. Or you're still going to go home why? I just told you the most dirtiest part on the human body.
But bro, if you're...
Why? Because you're emotionally involved.
If your lips are dirtier than your asshole, you got some mess. You're eating the wrong shit. But I can tell you this. If you were to, approach a customer, don't know anybody, and you didn't build the right rapport, you can still sell the product because they came to buy the product. But I think we're talking about the difference between a closer and an order taker, because there's a lot of people out there taking orders and they're walking off because they're making good money and they made sales, and they don't realize those people were coming to buy. You just helped them do it. You're not a salesman. I'm talking about a closer salesman. That's what you're talking about. You're teaching people how to freaking close, because you're gonna get the freaking laydowns, right?
Yeah.
If I call up to go to a Tony Robbins event and you call me and I say yes, you get off the phone and high five your buddy. Dude, I was going with or without you. I don't care who answered the phone. Right. But when I'm saying no, or I'm not interested, or let me think about it, and then you get me to say yes, that's when a freaking badass's job starts.
Mm-hmm. And you'll notice the top, I think I just briefly said it when we started off. I said the top closers. Here's the deal. If you look at a company and you look at the CEO and you look at the top sales rep, the CEO will still close more deals than the top sales rep. Why? The CEO has the ability to get on a phone call and ask the hard questions, ask the challenging questions. Like, they ask the questions nobody wants to ask. And that's like the differentiation between a good closer and somebody that's a bit weak. That's why you'll always walk into firms and CEOs can always close more than... And I was always asking myself, like, why the heck is it that a CEO can close more deals and he's not on the phone as much as a top sales rep, but he can walk up in there and he can limit a conversation from an hour to 5 minutes off of asking like one question.
Yeah. Well, it also may be because of his, stature, his position, but it's not always the case.
They're just, but I mean... To me, it's they're not scared to ask questions like, why are you sitting down? Like the first question. Like all the bullshit questions that sales rep want, like, what are your financial pains? What are your operational pains? What are your personal? And they want to go through all the questions. Like, a CEO has the conviction to sit down and say, listen, well, why did you decide to have a podcast with me when there's 1,000 other salespeople? Mm-hmm. Right? So there's the challenging questions, because I can probably get your pain right off the bat and I can just roll with that.
Ascertain from a few questions. And again, that's a good sign of a salesman. Most salesmen talk, believe it or not. When in reality, Ask questions, listen to the answers. You ever seen that little exercise I do?
No.
Well, I'll give you an example. So let's say I have a quarter, a dime, and a nickel. Okay, that's a quarter, that's a dime, that's a nickel. And I have it in my hand and I say, okay, now listen closely. Bob's mom has 3 kids. The first one is Demetrius, and I hold up the dime. The second one's Nicholas, and I hold up the nickel. Then I grab the quarter and I say, what's the third one's name? What do you say?
The quarter?
Yeah.
Cupid.
No, see, you're not listening. You got to listen. This is actively listening.
Do it again?
I'll say it again. Bob's mom has 3 kids. Demetrius, Nicholas, then I hold up the quarter and I say, what's the third one's name?
Quarter.
No, see, you're not listening. Now you got to listen this time. Now, see, now you'll actively listen. Usually 2-3 times people start listening. Okay? Now listen. Bob's mom has 3 kids. The first one is Demetrius.
Bob.
See, now you're listening.
Yeah,
Most people don't listen like that to begin with.
Right.
And they're asking questions and they're not listening.
I like it.
Right? They're not listening. And the customer tells them exactly how to build that value, exactly how to close that deal, exactly how to get that enthusiasm. And they fucking don't listen. And then they wonder why the dude didn't buy. And they're like, oh man, I almost had him and I don't understand. And, he had to go talk to his wife, or, she had to go get her husband. No, dude, you weren't listening, because 99.9% of the time, the customer will tell you exactly how to sell them the product if you're listening. But most salesmen, they don't listen. They just talk. And when they are listening, they're not really listening. They're thinking about what are they going to say next. Like what else am I about to say?
Right.
So they're not really paying attention.
Yeah.
Like when I used to sell fucking cars, I'd walk up and I'd say, hey, what's going on? We don't know what we're looking for. Like, dude, you're out looking for cars. You don't know what you're looking for. That's total bullshit. So instead of arguing with them, I'd just say, ooh, come here, follow me. And I'd walk over to a pile of shit. And I'd say, look at that. And they'd say, yeah, no, I'm not interested. Why? What's wrong with it? Well, it's too old. Oh, you're looking for something newer? Yeah. It's 2-door. Oh, you're looking for a 4-door? Yeah. Well, motherfucker, 2 minutes ago, you just said you didn't know what you were looking for. And so I'm telling you what you're not looking for, which if you're listening, tells you what they are looking for. So listening is key, but asking the right questions. Like, is this for yourself or someone else? Like, nobody even asks that shit.
Right.
I'm interested in your Tony Robbins event. Is this for yourself or someone else?
Right.
Like, fucking, I could sit there and say, dude, it's going to change your fucking life, and I could tell you all this shit, and it ain't even for me. Mm-hmm. And now you just unsold me because I don't want my girlfriend going there and freaking learning to break free of my control or whatever the case may be. You could have said, bro, is this for you or someone else? Oh yeah, I'm going to send my girlfriend. Oh, fantastic. How old's she? What, and I'm listening. And when I'm done, dude, you send your girlfriend to this event. She'll come home and literally do anything you say. Boom, sale. And he told me how to do it.
Yep.
That's freaking a bomb. I'm dropping it. Don't you wish you had a bomb over there?
That was good.
A bomb dropper? So let me ask you another question. You train people through virtual training, even though it's a shit platform, and you'll eventually get to Lightspeed. But you train people with the videos, and then you also train people on the Zooms and the lives.
Yeah.
And so how long does it take for someone to like get savvy enough to start making good living selling?
Depends what their level is. Like, you can have guys come in that have already been in sales.
And they're better quicker.
Yeah. I just think the guy that is, first of all, what I'm looking at is somebody that wants to be coachable in sales. I don't care what their past accolades were or what they sold. Like, if they can come in, reset their memory, and want to be coachable the moment they get in. That's it. And they want to go through a repetitive amount of action for training. That's all training is. Like, if you're...
See, folks, what I keep saying.
Yeah, like repetition. You are programmed actually off repetition, meaning when I was young and my mother told me not to touch the stove, not to touch the stove, not to touch the stove, not to touch the stove. It's hot. It's hot. I'm not touching the stove. Why? It's now in my subconscious saying the stove is freaking hot.
What about your ABCs?
ABC, same thing.
Yeah.
So
Everybody doesn't understand that element in business, and that's the problem with all these businesses with their training programs. They don't provide enough repetition or practice or accountability, and then they think that they're training their people when they're not. They're just exposing their people. Training requires repetition.
Learn, apply, teach, meaning that's my thing. That's my thing. I think that's the highest level of learning. If somebody can learn a concept on Monday, apply it. This is a short amount of time. Apply it on Tuesday and teach it to their girlfriend on Wednesday. They'll be freaking masters at it. And they can go over that process over and over and over and over again. So
the average person. So if someone in the bomb squad's listening, they're like, dude, I like this Daniel cat. I want to freaking be one of his high value reps or high ticket reps. What do they do? How long will it take them?
90 days.
So in 90 days, they have the ability to go make how much on average?
I have reps that can make over $1 million a year.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's the like experts that they're selling for?
They
got to be big dogs?
No, they just got to have they got to be somebody that is respected in the industry. They have to have some sort of high ticket program that's probably worth over $5,000.
What about like Jordan B. Peterson?
That guy's wicked.
Do you know who that is?
Yeah, that guy's the he's actually from Toronto.
He sure is.
Yeah.
I'm about to get him on a Lightspeed. He's trying to create a whole university to basically compete with universities.
Yep. So he's monetizing everything he's doing now.
Yeah. Well, dude, he's getting $50,000 a month handed to him just in donations. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna get him on Lightspeed. Mark my words.
I'll make the call.
Dude, you get me in front of him, I'll freaking pay you a piece of everything he makes, and he'll make millions. Because he'll make millions, dude. Millions upon millions, and he can help a lot of people solve a lot of problems. Anybody listening can get me to Jordan B. Peterson, or just hit up social media and hashtag Bradley, tag Bradley and hashtag, gotta have Lightspeed or whatever, and just get me to his ass.
$5,000 referral fee.
For sure.
There you go.
If you can hook me up direct. Because I'll close him if I talk to him. You know why? Because I'm the best on the earth. But that's not why. It's my product is also kick-ass. So it's hard to argue with logic and a good product. So I might just think I'm the best because I have such good tools to work with. But, I've never sold anything that was garbage or I didn't believe in. So maybe the best on earth is one that can sell shit they don't believe in. So maybe there is someone better.
Can you sell something you don't believe in?
I wouldn't. I could, but I wouldn't.
Right.
Yeah, I don't do it. I mean, if I don't believe in it, why would I sell it to you? Mm-hmm. Can you?
I could.
Do you?
Nope. But I could.
Yeah. Well,
I could do the newspaper to a blind person. I could do it.
Can you?
I could do the ice to an Eskimo. Yeah, sure. But have I? No.
Can you sell a drowning man a drink of water?
Can you sell somebody on the Titanic a life jacket?
Well, fuck yeah. That's easy.
Yeah. No, so anybody, I think we were looking, say, what does it take to become good at sales or a high ticket rep? I said coaching. I think another two things when I'm looking at reps is predictability and consistency. Two very key things when I'm looking at building out a sales team, looking at a good rep. Predictability and consistency. What's the difference? Predictability means this rep is predictable. I know this rep's going to show up every single day at 8. He's going to leave every single day at 8. He's going to show up at 8. He's going to leave every single day at 8. That's predictability. Consistency is that rep keeps showing up in the office every single day at 8, leaving every single day at 8. But in that time, he's consistent in his actions. He keeps showing up. He keeps doing the same amount of calls, if not more. Keeps sending out the same amount of emails, if not more. That's what I'm looking for in a rep. That's what I'm looking for. Predictability and consistency.
Why don't you just develop reps for all kinds of people?
What do you mean?
Why just thought leaders?
Well, we say entrepreneurs, thought leaders.
Yeah, but dude, that's such a small area. Like, dude, when I started this company, as a matter of fact, the official name of this company is actually Desert Sales Academy. I started selling humans. I'd sell the people a training program, and then I would sell the humans to a business, and the business would pay back the human that paid me to train them, and they'd pay me. So I sold humans, basically.
Right.
Trained humans.
Right.
And so the Desert Sales Academy was limited because I could only trained so many at a time. This was before I actually built Lightspeed. But there's just so many people that would buy your trained reps. It's not just thought leaders.
So what we're saying is
you could be a massive trained rep producer where, dude, you'll sell them to jewelry stores, you'll sell them to shoe stores, you'll sell them to furniture stores, you'll sell them to RV shops, you'll sell them to real estate.
But I'm looking for people that have attention. I want the person that has 1 million followers that has attention and they don't know how to grow and scale their business. And they're like, well, now I got a problem.
Yeah, but you already got that. That's what your business is. Why not go outside of that?
No, I'm looking for if you think now, so the reason why I made the agency is because I realized a gap in the marketplace. I said there's so many people, influencers, thought leaders, entrepreneurs that come up. They probably monetize their expertise. They have a program. They have people applying to their program, but they have nobody selling their shit.
Yeah, they need you for sure. I'm gonna hook you up with some clients of mine that need reps. Now again, we got to work out the deal because they're in charge. It's their company, but I can introduce you to people that are looking for you right now. Hundreds of them.
I like it.
Yeah. So if you've got a whole slew of them ready to go and are capable, that's a no-brainer. But why don't you go outside of that? Or is that just enough? You don't want to do any more than that?
Man, there's a lot of influencers, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders that need help right now that I don't think it's never going to stop.
So you're just going to help them
look at your
to
business.
Begin with.
Look, I mean, you guys do the same thing. Like you guys have entrepreneurs, thought leaders, influencers. I'm not saying I would turn down the business. I'm saying where can I add the most value that has the most attention? That's what sales is. If you think of sales,
lowest hanging fruit.
You want to get good at sales. Here's the deal: talk to more people. Number one. By the way, there's a lot of people to talk to, so you'll always be good. Add more value. So talk to more people. TTMP. Number two, add more value. Very freaking simple.
Yeah,
that's it.
Talk to more people. I agree with.
Talk to more people.
You say TTMP. You know what I said at 10x2? It went right over people's head. Like, you want to make more money? Do more. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, dude, let's say you talk to 50 people a month and you're averaging 10 grand a month. Talk to 100 people, which is TTMP. I just called it do more. Do more than you're doing now. Yep. It's so freaking easy. You want to double your pay and you're in sales? Do more, which is your version of talk to more people. That's exactly right. Do more than you're doing now and you'll get an increase in productivity. Then the next one, you said what?
Add more value.
Yeah.
So now I have people. Now the reason why I say this is because now I have the attention. Now I have people. Yeah. Like I was training. Here's a funny deal. I was training at a workshop in Toronto 3 weeks ago, and I'm training a sales team. And you always got the cocky sales guy in the back, and he's like,
always.
He puts up his hand. He's like, yeah, but so what's your thing of being here and stuff like this? I think it was that we were trying to crack a deal with this company, and he puts up his hand. He's like, what's your deal? And I said, dude, I got you in your seat for 1 fucking hour. I'm like, you can't get your clients on the phone for 5 minutes. I win.
Yeah.
You won't even listen to me on Instagram for 15 seconds. The smartest guy in the world, that's building Instagram and Facebook understands the attention span now, that your attention span is like 1 minute and 15 seconds. You swipe right from my stories. I got you in your seat for a fucking hour. I'm about to pour on some value. I'm about to exchange that for $5,000-$10,000, whatever it is. Right?
Yeah. Well, so add more value. How do you add more value?
In a deal?
Yeah, like you said, talk to more people and add more value.
Yes.
If your product's a bottle of water, how much more value can you add?
Well, so it's depending. I would say adding value is dependent on, like when you said lick the pain, it's dependent on what their pains are.
Yeah.
Like I need to find out if your pains, I need to find out if I can add value to your financial situation, your business situation, which is operational, your personal situation, right? By the way, personal situation is always going to be the biggest one.
Yeah, but add more value eventually is going to be, limited. Like eventually your value will surpass the cost.
That's when a buying decision happens, right there.
Right.
That's when it happens. When value exceeds cost.
Yeah.
That's it.
So add to your talk to more people and your add value. Add one more to it. Fucking get better. Okay. Now you got yourself a trifecta. Get better because, dude, are you better today than you were 3 years ago?
100%.
You're going to be better 2 years from now, wouldn't you? Mm-hmm. And I'll bet you'll be making more.
Mm-hmm. Agree.
People don't understand. If you want to make more money, do more and get better, and then scale. My third one's scale. See, your third one's add more value.
That was second. I like number 3, scale.
Yeah, well, scale's key, and most people don't understand how to scale, and they're too afraid to scale, just like they're too afraid to start a business. Let me tell the bomb squad real quick. Here's how you scale. It's real simple. Don't be afraid to spend money. Okay, when I started this company, I freaking was eating top ramen, bro. No Ferraris, no freaking Hublots and watches. Just freaking, I had no money. Okay. And I was behind on child support, and I was behind on car payments. And when I got $10,000 a month coming in, what do you think most people would do? They'd get caught up with their payments, and they'd get a nicer house, and they'd get rid of the milk crate and go get a couch. Guess what I did? I took the 10 grand and I gave 5 of it to my buddy, and I said, dude, now we got 2 of us to get back to 10. And then we got back to 10 twice as fast. And then I took 5 of it and I gave it to another person. And now there was 3 of us to get back to 10. And when we got back to 10, 3 times as quick, I took 5 and hired someone else. And then I kept hiring people. And so I never made any money for a long time when I could have been making money. Like I could have said, fuck, I've been broke for so long. Screw it. I'm going to start because after a while, dude, we were doing $100,000 a month. Mm-hmm. Well, guess what? I would never reach.
How long was the period from you to get to 0 to 100? What was that period?
It seemed like, I don't know, it seemed like 10 fucking years. But that's beside the point. The point is I went from 0 to 10 by myself. And then I took half of it instead of eating better and enjoying life better. I took half of it and hired somebody. Why? Because I wanted to scale. So then after we got back to 10, I gave 5 more. So even though I was doing 100, I still only had the 5 left. See what I'm saying? I was doing 100 and I took 5 and I gave 95 to somebody else. And nobody does that. They're too afraid to do that. They're afraid to spend their money. And here's what's the crazy part, dude. Money has no value unless you spend it. Ooh. If you don't use it, it's worthless. I give you $1 million right now. I say, you can't touch it, but you can hold it.
Right.
What's it worth?
Nothing.
Dude, pretty soon it's a nuisance. Like, it's in your way.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it's worthless. No one gives a shit. You can't use it. You're screwed. But yet people hoard their money and they won't use it to scale. People always ask me, dude, how do I scale my business? And I say, well, how much you got in the bank? And they go, 400,000. The fuck you got $400,000 in your bank for? What's it doing there? Well, in case I need it. You do need it if you're trying to scale, dipshit. Like, spend the money, invest the money, give it to other people to do more than you're doing now, right? So you do more, get better, and scale. So let's say you're talking to 10 people on average a month. You're making $5,000. You want to make 10. Talk to 20. That's do more, and you keep doing that until you're out of time because eventually you can't do anymore. You're a human being. Then what do? Well, you get better. So now you don't need to talk to 100 people to make.
You become laser focused.
Yep. Well, you become better. So now I don't need 100 people to make 5. I can do it in 50 people, right? So now I'm getting better. And pretty soon I scale back up to do more, get better, do more, get better. Pretty soon you're as good as you can be and you're doing as much as you can do. That's when you're max capped, and you will get max capped. Well, when you're max capped, now you scale. Scale means let me take some of that money that I'm making because I'm so damn good and I do so much, and I'm going to give it to somebody else, and I'm going to require them to do what I do, which is do more, get better. Now that's going to grow. And then you're going to scale again and scale again. Pretty soon, dude, you got 1 million people in the field and you're only making $10 on each one. Well, you're making $10 million a day. And everyone's like, how'd you scale your business? I freaking wasn't afraid to give money to grow my abilities, right? Beyond myself, because too many people find a successful business and then they will not grow. They're like stuck there and they're like, oh, dude, I make $2 million a year. I'm rich. Well, guess what, dude? You got to scale that shit.
Yeah. And I 100% agree. Everybody thinks like salespeople, like even managers are like, oh, my salespeople are expenses. Dude, they're your fucking biggest investment for your company.
If you're doing it right, you're training them right.
Yeah, 100%. They're your biggest investment.
Dude, I'll as long as I can produce a salesperson that can produce, I'll hire 1 million of them. Like if you guys are listening to this, y'all want to work for Lightspeed, get a hold of Natasha Brooks, pitch her your best pitch and come see her. because she's got the authority to hire 100 people if she needs to, if she wants to, if she thinks you can produce, you're hired.
Yeah. By the way, Brad just said something very important, so I don't want to skip over it. There's people right now that are listening to this, and they're salespeople. Even Brad's salespeople right now. When he's talking about scaling, when he just talked about actually blowing up his company, you don't have to be an entrepreneur to go through the same exact phase that he went through. Like, he went through a same phase that a sales rep can go through. The problem is people drop off when they get to the point when they make $50,000. Here's what I mean by that. Let's just say there's 4 stages. Stage number 1, let's say, is your declaration stage. This is where you sit down in the beginning of the year in January and you're like, okay, I want to make $500,000 this year. Or you sit down and you're like, I want a bigger chest this year. Cool. Number 2 is action stage. So you start doing the push-ups to get the bigger chest. So you start doing the push-ups. What happens? January 1st, you start doing push-ups. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. By the 14th, you're done your push-ups. Why? People are typically done by the 14th or 14th.
Because they don't like to be uncomfortable.
What they fail to realize that it takes repetition to form a habit, right? And to get into the 3rd stage, which is called momentum in sales and business. Momentum feels like this. When things start picking up, things are stress-free, things start getting a bit easier, you start making $10,000 checks, let's say weekly.
Because your pipeline's full and you've been doing the first 2 stages long enough.
You start getting into momentum. Here is where, like, we'd say like 5 to 10% of people get into momentum on a sales floor. This is like where the 1% is made. What people fail to realize is momentum has to be compounded. Stage number 4 is the blow up stage in business. But when people get into momentum, they're like, oh, babe, I just made $56,000. Let's go to Bali this month. Momentum, if you break momentum, it could take years to come back and get back to you.
Yeah, how long does it take to get rusty?
Here's what I mean by this. If you don't compound momentum, if you don't learn how to and I don't know what it is for, like, everybody has different momentum cycles that if you're not compounding that correctly, you'll never get to stage number 4. And stage number 4 feels like this. When you're sitting down on the couch, you've been compounding those 66-day cycles. You didn't take your vacation to Bali. You started, putting back into your mentorship, your coaching programs, stuck with it, was predictable and consistent every single day, showing up to the office 8, leaving at 8. You sit down and you have a $100,000 check in your bank account. And now you're overpaid. It's because you compounded momentum a bunch of freaking times.
Yeah, and then everyone asks you how you did it. Yeah.
And you're like, well, I remember from my career when I was in medical device sales, like I had a struggle. I was 20 years old at the time, youngest medical rep to ever be hired in North America. There was a gentleman that was running my territory down in Ontario. He was like the number 1 sales rep in North America for another company called Stryker. And this guy's making well over $1 million a year. And I was watching every one of his clients, all of his deals, because like I didn't have that territory. So any little piece of the pie I was okay with. I heard through the grapevines, this guy went to go take a vacation through one of the doctors I was talking to. He went to go take a vacation to Spain for 3.5 weeks. That was the cycle of me going in there and being like, this guy's gone for 3.5 fucking weeks. I'm going to break his freaking momentum. I remember I took 2 accounts. The guy comes back. He probably won't have that account till date. I figured out his momentum cycle. He broke it, and I came in there. And it could take years to get back onto your momentum game. Just like it took years to form it.
So do you never go on vacation?
That's a good question. Well, now you hit have you hit the point where you have true freedom?
Well, what do you think freedom is?
Freedom's priceless.
Well,
what do I mean by that? Freedom is...
What do you consider freedom?
When I just said freedom is priceless, number 1, first of all, that comes with money, because money is nothing but 2 things. Number 1, everybody knows it just magnifies your personality. So if I give you a lot of fucking money and you're a bad person, you're probably going to do some shitty things with that money. If you're a good person, which I knew I was at a very young age, so I knew I needed a lot of freaking money, because the first time I got a paycheck when I was like 19 years old, I went to go feed the homeless in downtown Toronto, went to go buy my mom a freaking purse. So I'm like, shit, I need more of this. I'm a good person. Like, I need some more money to magnify my personality. Number 1. Number 2, it is a magnifier. It provides freedom. And when I said freedom is priceless, for example, is Daniel just coming back from Dubai for 2 months, and his girlfriend from Peru meeting her up there at the airport. She meets me up, and I'm showing her, let's say, penthouse suites in Dubai to look over Dubai for 2 months, by the way, living in a suite in Dubai, overlooking the whole city. And I'm showing her to her as she arrives from the airport. I'm like, babe, how beautiful would it be to stay in one of these just overlooking the city for like 2 months? And she's like, oh, it'd be amazing. Oh, I'm like, booked. And what do I mean by priceless is the expression on her face when I'm like, it's booked. And she's like, really? Like that to me is like priceless. That to me is like amazing. Like,
Is
you know
that
what I mean?
freedom though?
To do what you want. Yeah.
When you want?
When you want.
Yeah, that's usually just money, right? A lot of times. I always tell people, bro, success, everyone has their own idea of what it is, and that makes it like personal. So success to you may not be successful to me, and vice versa. So people would argue that until I started making good points. Like I know dudes that go out and bang a bunch of chicks, and their friends think they're successful. I have friends that go home and spend time with their kids, and other family guys think that's successful. So it proves that everyone can have their own idea of success. So success is something personal to you. But when someone asks me, what do I think success is? My answer is simple. This is what I think success is. It's just my fucking opinion.
Sure.
I think success is when you have so much. Like you have an abundance that you can afford to be extremely generous. Like to me, that's success. Like I want so much that I can give it away without affecting me.
Right.
Now people, well, that might be selfish. Fuck you. That's what I consider success. Like I want so much that I spew all day, every day, abundance, and I never run out. That's to me successful. So to me, financially, that means billions, because you need enough to where you're compounding ridiculous amounts of revenue. So I'm blowing and throwing and helping a million people.
What's enough for you to stop? Like, what's the number for you to stop?
Well, I think $1 billion personally, like
Okay.
after taxes net, $1 billion.
Okay.
'Cause
And
one-
then
one
wait,
bill-
you're tapped out. You're
No,
done?
then I'm going to go travel and spend time with loved ones and help people.
Yeah,
Full time.
Interesting. So to me, I wouldn't play the game where it's like, I'm going to do all this and then enjoy. I'm going to be happy when. That's what you're going to do. Those are like the actions when you're done. You're going to go travel and stuff. But to me, it's making sure that throughout this whole fucking process, you're loving it.
Yeah, well, again, that's kind of romantic and like.
No, because I don't want to do something for 30 years and then enjoy my next 5.
If it takes you 30 to do it, then you would. Wouldn't you?
If it takes me 30 years to achieve something,
Yeah.
then I would.
Well, then you take 30 years to achieve it. It's not that you want to take 30 years to achieve it. It just does. So like $1 billion, that's a lot of money, like a fuckload of money.
Yeah.
So
And what happens if you don't hit it?
I will hit it, first of all. Second of all, nothing happens. I die trying. But irrelevant to your point is, have fun along the way. Well, dude, I am having fun along the way. But the destination to me is where I'm fucking going. Too many people say it's not the destination, it's the journey.
Right.
It ain't the fucking journey. You think I want to get up every day and come here? Fuck no, dude. Now, can I enjoy myself while I'm doing it? Sure, I enjoy myself. I'm enjoying talking to you. This is part of the journey. But if I had $1 billion, wouldn't be talking to your motherfucking ass.
Yeah.
I'd be fucking somewhere on a beach. Now, I might meet you on the beach and talk to your ass, but it wouldn't be here on a podcast. I'd be freaking out and about, and it'd be over, or as you would say, out in a boat. But either way, get it?
Right.
But either way, bro, it's the journey part. Dude, listen, the reason why people say that is because you should enjoy yourself along the way. Don't wait for some magical moment at the end of your journey and then you die. So I agree with what you're saying, but trust me, dude, how old are you?
24, turning 25.
Yeah. So I'm almost double your age, which means your whole fucking life I've lived twice now. And trust me when I tell you, bro, and it doesn't always mean that, because depends on who you're talking to. Like I know older people that don't know shit. I know 20-year-olds that know more than fucking 70-year-olds because of the experience and the lessons and the shit they've went through. But in general, you're going to be smarter when you're 50 than you are today. Would you agree or disagree?
Well, if I'm continuously improving, yes.
Yeah, but you
me
will be smarter at
yeah,
50
of course.
than you are today.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm me. I'm you fucking 50 years or 25 years later. So trust me when I tell you, enjoy yourself while you're doing it, of course. But dude, the destination is what the fuck you should be focusing on. Like, you want to get somewhere, right? You get up in the morning, you got to go take a shit. Why don't you just shit in the fucking kitchen on the way to the bathroom? Huh?
Yeah.
Dude, it's the journey. Piss all the way there. Enjoy yourself. Fuck that, dude. You're going to the toilet. Now, in that example, it's easy. I don't want to shit on my floor. Right, dude. Don't waste time sitting there enjoying the fucking journey. I'll take time to smell the roses. Fuck them roses. Get where you're going, dude. There's massive roses. You can smell them later. Get where you're going. Now, you already know this. You say you work 90 hours a week. That's your work ethic. Well, then you ain't smelling no fucking roses anyway. You're busy as shit. So guess what? You enjoy the grind, don't you? This is fun for you.
Yeah, but this is my work right now.
Yeah, but this is fun for you.
Yeah.
So that's good advice. Like, have fun, enjoy what you're doing, and enjoy the journey.
There's shit I don't want to do every day, but I do it.
Right.
Every single day.
Right.
And that's where I think people are bullshit when they say don't do anything you don't want to do. That's fucking impossible.
Yeah, but that's what, to me, when you say, enjoy the journey. Dude, I can't enjoy the journey every day. Like, if I want to go get 6-pack of abs and a big-ass fucking meaty chest,
yeah,
there ain't nothing to enjoy, bitch. That's fucking work. It's going to be uncomfortable. I'm going to be sore. But guess what? I can enjoy it theoretically. Enjoy the journey. Fuck that. Give me the abs. Give me the chest. Give me the freaking shoulders. I'm in. I'll go through the pain. And when I get there, when I look in the mirror and I'm like, damn, look at that. That's what I did it for. I didn't do it for all the times I had to go to the gym. I didn't do it for that. And when you're 50, you're going to look back and you go, that motherfucker was right. Most people that tell you, enjoy the journey, they must not have hit their goal or something. So now they're telling you to rationalize. Like, it ain't about the destination, bro. It's the journey. No, it ain't. It's not the journey. It's the destination. Trust me. It's where you're going. Just like that chick you always wanted, and boom, you got her. Mm-hmm. Just like that movie you wanted to go see. What'd you do? You got in the car. You drove down to see the fucking movie. You didn't go down and drive around and look at the doggies playing and, enjoy the song on the way there and find out you didn't go see the movie. You pick somewhere and you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, Grant Cardone does that a lot.
Does.
Yeah.
I'm listening.
Grant?
Yeah, I watch him, yeah.
Listen to him. He'll go, yeah. Just like
I'm
that.
Agreeing with you.
I do that shit too.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's the sign of a kick-ass salesman or something.
I'm on page with you. No, that's important. I agree.
Yeah, and here's another fucking tip for you, 24 years old. Think bigger.
Yeah.
You need to think bigger. Now you can think, I think huge. No, you don't. You don't think that big at all. I don't think as big as I will in another year. Folks, listen up. Think fucking bigger than you're thinking now. If I ask anybody, what's your goal? And they say it's X. Think bigger. Just think bigger than that. Like, you should think bigger than thought leaders, sales reps. Now, the fact that you're starting there.
I'm thinking, so here's the deal. Here's the deal. I think more of the ripple effect rather than just the immediate impact I have on a thought leader. Like, your ripple effect in Lightspeed VT is much bigger than you think. Like, it's huge, because when you impact 700 entrepreneurs or thought leaders, they have an army behind them that they're like, the ripple effect down the road is 500, maybe 1 billion people that you're impacting.
Indeed.
So I'm thinking of that. I'm like, what's the easiest way to have the biggest ripple effect?
Yeah, well, again,
right?
you got a good one
so
going.
So I'm looking at the people that have actual fucking impact, because those are the people that are going to have the biggest ripple effect in my business.
Yeah, but dude, you also need to think bigger.
I think huge.
Think bigger than that. Okay. Dude, there's more people you can help than just thought leaders. Everybody needs good salespeople, and if you've got the ability to produce them, go outside beyond that. But again, I mean, you're thinking, well, shit, dude, there's so many of those. I don't need to. That's what I mean, bro. Think bigger.
Yeah.
Because most people don't. They'll think, I'll be worth $1 billion right here in this world. Mm-hmm. Think bigger and watch what happens, dude. The universe starts putting more and more opportunities, and the next thing you know, you're fucking way bigger than you ever thought of being.
Yeah.
Because you thought of being it. So most people won't think bigger, and that's why they'll never get bigger. And someone will be like, dude, I'm doing $50 million a year. Think fucking bigger than that. Like, dude, when people tell me congratulations on all your success, you know what I say? I get embarrassed. Like, dude, I haven't done anything yet. Like, I feel like a fucking loser. 20 fucking years I've been doing this, bro, and I'm only doing what I'm doing. But you are right. If I want to look positively on it, I've generated collectively over $1 billion for my clients. I've freaking generated millions of people better lives and impact. But dude, I am it's like if I was 900 pounds and I wanted to get to $180 and I'm fucking 730. Pretty damn good. Nowhere near where I'm going. Right. And I'm still a big fucking fat ass.
Yeah.
So, but again, dude, my advice to you, only because you're 24 and I remember when I was 24, and you're way beyond where I was, dude. Where I was 24, I was a fucking dipshit. Total dipshit. Nowhere near what you're already accomplishing. But still, even at 24, think bigger. I'm telling you, dude, it'll be one day you'll look back, you'll be like, dude, I didn't understand when he said it, but now I understand. The universe will fucking provide and respond to bigger think. To like just think fucking bigger. Who else can you help? What else can you do? Next thing you know, you'll be outside of thought leader space for sure. You could literally produce reps for the world, and everyone needs good sales reps. Problem is it's hard to train them. So Grant Cardone's making millions training salespeople, millions a month.
Yeah.
He's also doing fucking real estate. He's also doing masterminds. He's also doing coaching programs. So he is a big fucking thinker.
Yeah.
That he never thought that he would be doing this until he started thinking about doing it.
It's so here's the thing. So I'm surrounded by great mentors, gurus in the game, and when I'm like, for example, when I'm getting advice and they're like, invest in like 15 different multiple properties so you could think, you can grow your business and keep investing into it and, have residual income and stuff like this. Sometimes I look at the person and I say, okay, here's the deal though. You focused on one income producing vehicle for 20 years. Now you're 45 years old, or now you're 50, 60. Now you have the cash flow to invest into 15, 20 different properties. Yeah. But what you're not telling people, and I'm not saying this is for your advice, I agree with your advice. No, but what you're telling people is, okay, now you got to invest right off the bat to expand your portfolio. No, you focused on one thing for 20 years. That's what got you to the point to have the income to expand your thinking and start making more vehicles of income.
Yeah, but it's not but that's not expand your thinking. That's diversifying your revenue or your income. And I agree with you on that. I don't tell people go buy apartment buildings.
Right.
Put it back in your business.
Well, so this is just our business model of where I could think. That's just our model. Like mine and Grant's model is totally different.
Yeah, but think bigger for you would mean like expand what you're doing, because there's way more to it, way beyond what you're doing. And it's in the same fucking line of work that you're doing, but just expand beyond it. I'm telling you, you will freaking 10x. No credit to Grant.
Yeah,
you'll freaking triple, quadruple your revenue, and you'll be like, "Fuck, I didn't." One day you're gonna look back. You're gonna go to some fucking young entrepreneur. You're gonna go, dude, think bigger, and he's gonna look at you just like you're looking at me, like, "Fuck you." But anyway, I would have told you to fuck off too. When I was young, I didn't listen to anybody.
Right, I listened to you, man. I respect you.
Hey, here's my question: where do you want people to follow you?
Instagram's the easiest vehicle. Daniel, Daniel, last name Guaragna. Daniel Guaragna.
Daniel Guaragna. Go follow him, and also if they want to like maybe have an opportunity, can they go somewhere to learn more
there's a link in the bio right there.
Go to his link, folks. If you guys are out there, you want to do some high ticket selling, you want to make freaking up to $1 million. He's got people making $1 million a year that he put onto this game, and he trains people to show them the game and bring them to the game. If you guys want to play a high ticket game, he's got the freaking training, he's got the freaking processes, and he's about to have even more thought leaders, because I can produce those like they're going out of stizzy. Until next time, folks, we appreciate you listening. Share this out. Hashtag somebody that you think might need to hear it, and go rate it on iTunes, Spotify, and wherever else you find the podcast so it grows. Anything else?
That's it.
All right, folks. Appreciate you listening.